Well, as they say, it's not a failure. I've just discovered one way not how not to bake bread. God, it's solid. I don't think the inside is any better. I'm going to add more yeast to these other two and see what happens. Okay, what I've done is I've got what do you call it, some warm water at the bottom, put some 3 heaped teaspoons of the active yeast, and then to be sure I put a little bit of baking soda, and then I put the 2 balls of dough. I combined to one big bowl, a ball on the right, as you can see. But as I lifted it, I felt the texture was so much softer than the first one, so maybe it wasn't necessary. But what to do, I've already added, mixed the yeast, so I added there, and I put more flour. I put 4 heaped teaspoons of everything: rye flakes, oats flakes, polenta flour, spelt flour, wheat flour, and oat bran. So I'm gonna mix them up now. It's gonna get a little messy, so I'm gonna switch off the video now. Okay, I've kneaded everything into one big ball, then I separated out into 4 smaller balls. Here they are, and I'm gonna let this rest now. I think the problem was I didn't let the first one rest long enough, because when I kneaded the other 2 into a ball, the texture was very different. It felt a lot softer. So anyway, I'm gonna let this rest now for another 45 minutes until 6:30 before I bake one of them. So we'll see how it goes. So right now the time is about 5:45, so at 6:30 I'll bake one of them, and we'll see how that one goes. In the meantime, this one is still warm. As you can see, it's rock hard. It's not quite pie pastry because there's no butter in it. If anything, it's 100% crust. This is the sort of thing you say, baling ka anjing pomati. That reminds me of my childhood. I used to insult my mother's cooking, baking that way. She wasn't amused. Okay, it brought back an interesting memory. Actually, it's just a crust outside. Inside is like bread. It's still a little warm. I'm letting it cool, but it's edible. Of course, it's not terribly tasty because I didn't put any salt in it, but it's okay. But not really hard. It's kind of crunchy, but it's definitely not bread.